Hey everybody, it's your girl Heavenly B, and I'm here with Dale and David. Say hello to the people.
Hello,
Hey,
people.
And we are here for another episode of the Prince George's Weekly Periodically. Okay, where we come here and we chat all things that involve our community and things that's happening in the world. So today, I was just thinking, how much representation really does matter in the classroom. This year I'm getting a different experience than I got last year in this particular school that I'm in, and I'm starting to find or having students gravitate towards me that really relate to me, and really I can see um that they see themselves in some of the things I do, or their aunties or their moms, they see that relatability. And I am a minority in this school. Okay, like whereas the other school I came from, you know I was not a part of the minority population. So to me, it just was like a reinforcement of how important representation is, because clearly, if you can pick up what I'm putting down, the girls that I really see gravitating towards me look like me or have similar backgrounds as me. And I'm impacting students who don't look like me too, but I can just see it's like a relief for them, because of the environment that we're in. So I was thinking how much education and representation in education really matters. And then it had me like going down memory lane and thinking about the teachers that really, really impacted me along my journey. I said we always talk about, even our favorite rappers talk about all the teachers that didn't believe in them. We always talk about the negativity that maybe some teachers have put into our minds, hearts, or our lives, but we don't take a lot of time to highlight those teachers that made a stamp in our lives. So we're going to highlight that today. Okay. With that said, Dale and David, tell me one or two of your most impactful teachers and what they did that really stuck with you.
I think David should go first, especially since your wife is one of those teachers that makes an impact.
Mm-hmm.
no pressure, right? So there are actually, obviously, there are way more than two that I could talk about, but I'll take one because I think I can make it a little bit shorter. His name is Tony Altman. Um, he was my music teacher. His wife taught me in kindergarten. Our families are very close. I was a ring bearer in their wedding in
Oh,
1984.
that's
And
so
we've
cute.
been very close ever since. I often tell people that my father was the first person to put an instrument in my hand. Rest in peace, Dad. But Tony Altman was the first person to teach me how to play it. And I literally just text him. We just text back and forth about 10 minutes before this started, because I put a video out of me playing, and I texted him about it. I was like, hey man, I had to dust off the horn to pay homage to Dad, and let me know what you think. He told me, he said, man, I'm proud of you. He was like, you make me want to pick my horn up again. I told him, man, you almost had me in tears, man. You don't even know. Like,
Mhm.
he taught me so much. Like, the impact that he made on me musically has stuck with me to this day. And not just musically, but that's the part where he really made an imprint in my life, because I would not be playing music if it weren't for my father and for him. I wouldn't.
Wow. That's amazing. And that you still are in contact with him. Hmm. Dale?
I am not in contact with any of my former teachers. However, like David, I have several that I can recall that had a major impact on me in education. I'm going to start with elementary school.
Hmm.
Fifth grade, Mr. Smith class. And I went to a school in Detroit, and most of the students were of African descent, and like half of the teachers were of African descent. So I never even thought that there might be a difference in education until I got to middle school when none of the teachers looked like me.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mr. Smith looked like me today. In fifth grade, always wore a suit, and he was very strict, but also sarcastic and funny. Most fifth graders didn't get him, but I did. And I really appreciated the level of respect that he demanded in his class.
I love that. I think I'm similar to you in that way that most of my impactful teachers did not play around. So I have several as well. And I kind of went like how you did, Dale. Like let me start from elementary. Elementary, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of went on and skipped up to middle school. I was like, I couldn't find any that I can say I model myself after, or I see anything that I do that's like them. So we went to middle school, and guess what? Number one was Miss Smith. Some about those Smiths. Miss Smith did not play around with us. She used to stand up and walk around. I remember she had this big belly because she was pregnant, but she didn't let it become an excuse for her. And so anytime that she would say something to us about our assignments being turned in on time, or about something being difficult, if we would say it to her about an assignment being difficult, she would make us recite this saying. And I still remember it to this day. It was about excuses. So anything that sounded like an excuse, she would make us say, excuses are the tools of the incompetent. They build bridges to nowhere, monuments that stand for nothing. Those who specialize in them seldom succeed in anything else. Like, you could not come to Miss Smith with anything, if it even sounded like it was about to be an excuse. She would make you recite the entire thing and then go sit your butt down. And this was middle school. And believe it or not, I don't really give myself a lot of room for excuses. I'll give myself room to cry and complain a little bit, but then I have to get up and get it done. I got to do it, you know? So I think that would come a lot from Miss Smith's impact.
Yeah.
And go ahead, David.
No, I'm saying with the strict thing, I think that's a prerequisite, because Tony Altman was always cool and even keeled, but don't play with him. Like, what he wanted, he wanted. And like, I tell him to this day, there have never been any musical situations that I've been in more stressful than when he would come with a piece of music, put it on his stand and say, now play it. Never saw it before. And he's like, now play it. And it's like the sweat starts to pour. And he's like, well, play it. And it instilled discipline and confidence. But I knew, listen, at the very least, you better play something, because he won't play.
Exactly. I feel like even with my students today, I have like that same tendency. It's not accepted in my classroom. I don't know if I'm asking you questions, especially if we're having a group conversation. I give you a chance to volunteer first. If no one volunteers, I'll call you out. I don't know, doesn't work for me. Okay. And I tell them that all the time, and I do reassure them afterwards. Maybe that's the nurturer in me, while still being strict. Listen, I'm holding you to this standard because I need you to start using your imagination and pulling from the knowledge that you already have to come to conclusions. I'm not going to give you information every time there's a question. You're waiting, you're quiet and waiting for me to give you the answer. No, I want you to tell me what you think. Tell me how you would solve this problem. It's not a right or wrong answer for everything that I'm asking you here. It's just about what you would do, how you interpret it. Just trying to pull that out of them. So they sweat too when they get called out, but ultimately it grows them, because now they have to be forced. They know if they say, I don't know, I'm gonna just stand there and look. And I tell them, y'all think y'all being quiet is slowing down the process? Or I should say speeding up the process. No, slowing it down, because I'm going to stand here until somebody says something. I got time. We have a 3-hour class.
I had a teacher in high school that was nurturing like that, in slightly a different way. It was my regular English class in 10th grade. And after the first day, she pulled me aside and said, "You're in the wrong class." And as soon as class was over, she walked me to the office and said, "Put him in the honors class." And I was like, whoa, hold on.
I love it.
I'm going to get a great grade in your class. I don't know what I'm going to do in that class.
It didn't challenge you, though. And she knew that you weren't being challenged.
And I was going to be a fool. So she was right.
And you know what? I find that to be true. The ones who aren't challenged, really, they cut up. They're bored. You know, it doesn't matter how entertaining of a teacher you are, how much you really try to craft different ways of doing assignments to meet the different needs of the kids. If they are advanced, they are bored. Which can lead to a whole different conversation that we won't get into. But maybe later we'll talk about that aspect of things too. I think another teacher, y'all can probably guess, that was most impactful was, what teacher did I have? Guess.
Dale.
Huh?
Dale.
Where's Dale? Dale is definitely one of them. But we're going in order. I'm in high school now. I ain't get to college yet.
This is your high school cosmetology teacher.
Yes, my cosmetology teacher, Miss Mitchell. She was also no nonsense, but she was fly. She was youthful and fun. She just knew, it's like I knew my boundaries with her, just like my mama. It kind of reminded me of my mom. And maybe because I grew up around strong women, I gravitated to strong teachers like that too. So my mom would make people second guess that saying that your kids aren't your friends. All my friends like were jealous of the relationship I had with my mom because we were friendly, but I knew my boundaries with my mom. I knew that she was still my mama. And same with my teacher. We were cool, we could talk, she was relatable, but we knew not to play with her. Oh no. So she was impactful. And one of the things that was the biggest impact outside of the aesthetic was I loved the fact that she just was willing to share information with us, not just about the subject matter, but when we would have questions about career opportunities. I will remember how she helped, I don't want to say heal, but I guess for lack of better words, heal a part of me. Because when I was in elementary school, right, I've always been inquisitive. I had this teacher, and I remember as a child thinking to myself, I wonder, do teachers get paid in the summer? Now, this is how my brain is always working since I was a kid. And I was like 7 at this time, because I remember she was my 2nd grade teacher. So, you know, the naivety, I guess, of the child, I'm thinking I can ask her, you know, plus I was, now she had this bold personality. So I was like, hey, Miss Blue, do teachers get paid in the summer? She told me to shreds, told me I need to stay out of grown folks' business. Blase. And of course, I'm so innocent. I didn't even know I was doing anything wrong. So fast forward to high school, and I get a teacher that I'm asking these same questions. Hey, how'd you get into being an educator? Maybe I had this in the back of my head all my life and didn't even know it, even though I'll be fighting tooth and nail right now. But I was always asking teachers about their jobs and their career and how they got there. And I was really interested in how my cosmetology teacher became a teacher, because maybe something in me knew that standing behind a chair would not be a lifelong thing. So how did you transition? And she told me, she was like, step 1, get your senior cosmetology license. And do you know that was the motivation for me to get my senior license? A lot of stylists don't even go that extra mile, but I did it just to have it in a pocket. You know, I like options. So I had that senior license long before I became an educator, but it's that preparation meeting opportunity thing. You know, so I already had it. So when the opportunity came, I didn't have to go and do 1,000 things. So she shared a wealth of information. That was the impact. And yes, I still talk to her to this day. She gave us wedding gifts. She talked to me, was so proud of me. I told her when I started working in the public school system, like, we still have contact to this day.
Yeah, if you're talking about high school. So the thing about me, I went to a private school. So I went to the same school from kindergarten through 12th. So I had the same principal. Tony Altman worked at the school, so I was with him for maybe until middle school or so. But my principal, rest in peace, Mary Nelson, man, she was like a second mom to me. This lady, I went from being absolutely terrified of her as a child to eventually, when I graduated from high school, I ended up working at that same school I graduated from for 12 years with her as my boss. And when I tell you the relationship that we had and that developed, it was night and day for me. It was like I went from hearing you to now I can't wait to be around you. Like she was one of those that, listen, don't play games with her. She was not the one. But when you got to know her, wasn't hardly
But those
anybody.
are the ones with the biggest hearts, honestly. You know, the love is just tough. I guess what they would say, tough love. I'm literally on you like this. I literally don't play with you because I know your potential and I'm not going to let you fall below it. And most of the time, children won't perceive it that way. And even sometimes young adults won't perceive it that way. I think I just had that. I don't know. For some reason, I perceived it that way. And again, it just probably goes back to it was familiar to the type of women that were in my life and that were raising me anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
I had this one teacher in high school, Mrs. Zulke, Elizabeth Zulke, God rest her soul. She was a history teacher and she was tough on everybody, but she also had like a really sharp tongue. So when somebody was cutting up in class, she would cut them to shreds with her words. Giggle to herself and go on about her business. So a lot of people feared her. One day, she walked into a trap and I got her. And I ripped her to shreds. She sent me straight to the vice principal's office.
You thought it was like, I could do what you do?
I thought we playing the dozens. You got me. I'm gonna get you, and we're gonna keep on. No, so
you out of here.
Immediately. I get to do this. You don't.
Do as I say, not as I do.
I ended up having to take her twice.
Oh
and
my!
I enjoyed having her the whole time. Once I figured out what the boundaries were, and not to go beyond that.
I love it. I'm telling you, like it just all makes a difference. So, of course, I got to give honorable mention to my high school administrator, Miss Parham, the one that I saw at the reunion. Loved her to death. That was my grandma at school. She ain't played with us either, but at the same time, she was going hug us and love us. So I used to hide out in her office sometimes and know I was not a skipper, but if I could get out of class a little bit early or go to class a little bit late, I was sitting there if I needed like a mental health break. She wasn't letting me stay in there long. It's like, okay, you got to go. But honorable mention to her. And then college, got to shout out Dale. Look at Dale. One of my most impactful educators. Yes. And I still talk to Dale. So I'm learning that I kind of still talk to some of the people that impacted me. And Dale was impactful, number one, because of course he opened up or believed in my voice and my ideas, didn't minimize it, didn't let nobody else play with me or minimize it, and then gave me the platforms to do that and advocated for me and for me. And it makes a difference. And nobody can tell me nothing about Dale. Okay. Because one thing about me, when I rock with you, I rock with you. When you got me, I got you. So thank you so much, sir. And you're the only man that made the list. See, look.
You're right though. Listen, I worked with Dale for a few years before he became my teacher. He was so good at work. I was like, I need to learn more from this guy, man. Like Dale's like, for all the haters out there, Dale is an excellent educator, but he's a cool guy, man. Like Dale put us through the fire. You remember the first few years we were doing the podcast and stuff.
Daily, every day.
Y'all some trash.
Y'all need to do better.
For some reason, I never got sad.
No, it was a challenge. It's like, okay, we got to bring it.
We will work it out.
We'll figure it out. Do this. Your levels are off. Listen to this. Okay. And then when he actually did like something, it was like the planets aligned. Yeah, when he finally said, okay, that's good. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Amen.
No critique.
Now let's duplicate the formula, because listen. But yeah, so but I think that's what I'm saying. As long as you're not disrespectful to me, I can deal with a little bit of fuss and a little bit of tough love. Just don't cuss me out. Don't call me out my name. Don't try to be condescending. I'm cool. I don't mind a little fussing, because I be fussing.
No. But I one thing I will say that Dale always did, he would at least show you what he wanted once. So if you were smart like me, you would videotape or write down what he was saying, so you didn't have to ask him again, because he would say, well, I already told you how to do it.
What happened? I get it so bad now, because I can't, I never could stand repeat myself, but I swear, now, ask your classmate, because I'm not saying it again, you should have been listening. Now, one thing Dale has taught me over and over, and I have watched over and over, even went on YouTube, I am not going to ever be working at boards. I cannot get that thing for nothing. If I had to run that board, or somebody was going to get me up out of here, I'll be out of here. Y'all can, I cannot get that thing for nothing. Not hooking it up. Now I can work the board once it's hooked up. But me hooking it up? I don't know. It's never happening. Everybody has their gift. So now take it. Huh?
In fairness, y'all were not average students. So if you're above average, things come together a lot faster. If you're about average, people start to hate Dale.
Not only them that hated it, they just didn't understand your personality too. But the sarcasm was not for everybody, but for me, I understand different personalities. I can work with different personalities.
I soak it up. I love sarcasm.
You be in there laughing at him, talk trash to people. So, question, guys. Now that we've talked about all of these people or the educators that were impactful in our lives, tell me what pieces of those people's influence that you see in your own life as an educator for you, Dale, and as a father for you, David.
I'll take on the first one. I see myself as Mr. Smith from middle school. I see myself as Mr. Merriweather from high school. I see myself as Mrs. Johnson from high school, in caring about my students, not just in the classroom, but caring about them in real life.
Yeah.
And hoping, planning, working to get them to the next level, and a level beyond what they can even see for themselves. I think that what I do is important, even if I don't do it great every time. Yeah. So I try to at least do something good for somebody.
And clearly you have. David?
Oh man, as a father, so even the way that I was taught musically, Tony Altman was consistent. He was firm, but you could tell he cared, and he unlocked stuff in us that like Dale was just saying, like you didn't even know was there or didn't even know was possible. And he had a way of teaching you how to do something and then letting you do it. He didn't just okay, I'm the teacher now, I'm going to do everything, you follow me. It's like, no, you got the tools, now you use them. I want you to do this. The last project that he had me work on before he left, and I never got to complete it at the time, he gave me a blank piece of paper with the musical staff on it. He's like, now write a song, notate it. And I was just like, I got started, but I never finished it at that time. But I'm like, you have that much faith in me to be able to do this? And he said, I taught you and you learned. Most importantly, you learned. And so that's kind of how I teach my children. Like I teach them how to do things, and then I let them do it. Once you know how to do it, you got that. You know how to make your sandwich. You hungry, go fix it yourself. Don't tell me you're hungry, fix it yourself. Now, if you need my help, that's one thing. If you can't open the thing or whatever, fine, but you know how to fix your food now. So That's one thing less for me to teach you. Now it's what you can develop as a result. Well, what do you want to fix next? Then I can show you something else. So I got that from my guy Tony, man.
Love it. I love it so much. I think from Miss Smith, I am big on pushing my students to speak positivity over their life. I do not allow them to say negative things about themselves because they try it every day. Oh, this is so bad. This looks horrible. I can't learn like other people. All these are things I hear. And as soon as they start saying it, I nip it in the bud like Miss Smith did. Half the time you can't even finish your sentence. You will not say negative things about yourself, and definitely not in front of me. And if I find that you feel you can't do something, that's exactly what I'm gonna make you do. So you better off just not saying it around me, okay? And hopefully that practice makes you stop saying it to yourself. Like, we're not doing that. So that's my Miss Smith thing that I see with me. With Miss Mitchell, same. I'm very open to sharing with my students. I share everything that I've learned over these 20 years that I've been in this industry with them. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I do tell them, y'all are getting stuff that most people don't get and that I don't have to give you. I probably shouldn't tell them that, but I tell them it's not required. I'm only required to get you to pass that test. I'm giving you things to get you started in the career because I did not get that element. As great as my teacher was, I didn't get the business side of things, how to handle that aspect, how to do the marketing, the importance of taking other classes, how to do advanced styling techniques. Anything that wasn't on that test, we didn't learn. I'm teaching you those things because I want you to make some money. Okay, I know how to get you some money. Okay, so I definitely am open to sharing with them. Of course, everybody knows I'm the strict teacher, but I'm also the teacher that's full of love. My last school gave me the award for most nurturing. They knew not to play with me, but they knew I was going to level up on you. And again, I'm starting to finally attract my tribe here because they see someone that looks like them. I already knew that the people that gravitated or understood my personality without me explaining will come from a similar background, because what's abnormal to other people is normal to them, right? So I'm like the auntie. So then they standing around me. I'll be looking like, back up. And I tell them, and they think it's hilarious. Like, I'm like, I'm from around the way. I don't let people all up on me. I just tell them just like that. I'm like, why are y'all standing here? You don't even want anything. You're not asking me a question. You're just standing here because you got a free second. So, I'm starting to see that pull with them, And then, Dale, I don't know if I can say that it was 100%, hey, Dale put this in me, more so that Dale gave me the confidence to keep being me and pushing people into their visions and having my bold personality and speaking my mind without worrying so much about how it was going to be received by other people. So, yeah. So that is, I think, all that I have. And I'm shout out to all my teachers. I hope that you are all doing well. Of course, I can ask Dale directly, but for anybody that's listening, thank you. I hope you are doing well. And I hope you know that your work was not in vain. I know firsthand that this industry, this field can be very daunting. Sometimes you feel like, what am I doing it all for? Is it even worth it sometimes because of what you see in that immediate moment, but you don't know how many people that you're actually impacting, and how it's going to change them well into adulthood. So just thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do want to mention a couple of my college professors because I didn't get to the whole college thing. Sandra Starneman, Alex Nestorenko, Dr. Rao, Dr. Wagner, the dude at Illinois State. I forget your name, but you know who I'm talking about, brother.
Shout out.
All
Shout
these
out.
people are phenomenal.
Yeah. Yes. So we thank you guys so much. And thank you guys for listening. Make sure you all follow us on all social media platforms. Leave your comments. Let us know who were the teachers that impacted you the most. And if you can find them online, go ahead and tag them. Sometimes, especially if they're still educators, they need that. They need that extra boost. They need to be reminded that everything they're doing is making a difference. So follow us. What's our social media platform again, David? Prince George's.
It's the PG Daily.
PG Daily. On all platforms. Until next week, we love you guys. Peace.